I'm not sure, folks, if you watched my 20-minute presentation in Fresno during the recession domination event. I basically highlighted, some receipts that I called last year. I talked about what I'm doing this year. And at the end, I took some shots at short-term rentals. The reason I did that is for the last 2 years or so, I have been called old, out of touch, and all kinds of other things because I was comfortable with $250 cash flow a month. And all of these short-term operators were doing significantly more than that, right? 2020 and 2021 were aberrations, but they were doing quite well. I thought I should have a conversation with somebody in the business and talk about the differences between short-term rentals and long-term rentals, because I think some people got enamored by the numbers and they are about to be in for a rude awakening. And to have this conversation, I have the CEO of Hemlane, Dana Dunford. How you doing, Dana?
Great. Thanks for having me. I'm actually very excited about this topic, having done both short-term and long-term myself.
Well, why don't you just talk about what you see as the difference being operating in them? Is short-term rental all about the money? You're just cash in bank and it's just, you're crazy not to do it. Is that every property makes great short-term rental and people should never do long-term rentals? Because that's what people were telling me.
Yeah, short-term is incredibly risky, much riskier. First of all, and I'll go into that in detail, but before I do, I want to start with the top line. A lot of times when folks say I make more in cash flow from a short-term rental, they are only looking at the top line. Right. And so essentially what they're doing is saying, here's how much rent I can get per month from my long-term rental. And then here is how much rent I can get from short-term per night. Now, of course, there's turnover, there's vacancy on certain days, especially during the week. It might not be as popular if it's a weekend type destination, but they look at that and say, wow, okay, even with a vacancy rate, whatever they call it, 10%, 20%, 30%, even potentially 50% throughout the month, especially if it's a higher end, I can still make more money off of a short term. This is completely inaccurate because they're forgetting about all the additional costs associated with a short term. First ones I'll go through is all the additional stuff associated with utilities, wear and tear. They're never accounting for, hey, I need to get new towels. They've ruined this. They've ripped this. This glass broke. There's all of that associated with it. On the internet side, you're paying for internet. You're paying for all the utilities that I mentioned. And then the wear and tear is just so much higher because it's not someone's home, long-term home that they respect. The other cost that is never brought into it whenever you talk about short-term operators, and they want to be right, so they don't tell you the truth, is just the coordination that goes into it. Someone goes into your rental property, the internet's not working. What do I do? They're not going to call the internet provider like Comcast and try to figure out how to fix it. They're going to call you. The refrigerator isn't working. Okay, great. Press the button and just cool it a little bit more. All of those types of requests go to you, and it's hospitality. And so now you're suddenly in the hospitality industry where you must be available 24/7. They expect you to always be available 24/7. And you also have then the drama associated with neighbors, not wanting short-term. There's just a lot more that goes into it. And so a lot of times when we speak with, there's folks who come to Hemlane and they say, I'm thinking about short-term and we're thinking about long-term. And we tell them this and we say, great, if you decide to go the short-term route, we'll talk to you in 6 months because we know you'll be back.
You'll be back, yeah.
And so even after furnishing the place after a year, especially if they're trying to manage it themselves, or if they're not, then they're paying 30% plus to a property manager. Either way, they come back and say, you know what, I just want to do the long term where it's steady, stable cash flow. This is how I'm going to build wealth.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me, and I thought this last year, and again, I had dozens, if not up to 100 people basically say something like that, like, you're old, you don't get it, this is the wave of the future stuff. I step back and actually go back right to the IRS. The IRS treats a long-term rental very different than a short-term rental. Short-term rental is a hospitality business. It's an active business. Being a landlord of monthlies or yearlies is passive. It is treated fundamentally different by the IRS. And if that's not a signal that it's a different animal, you're not paying attention in my mind.
Yeah, definitely. And that's where I think the numbers are super important. And a lot of times folks get misguided. They're not looking at the full picture. They're just looking at one line item and saying, oh, look, but this is higher, and not looking at that whole picture of what does this have to do from a tax implication? What does this have to do from like a all of the additional expenses, capital, including all the furniture and stuff that you're getting for the property. There's just a lot more that goes into it. And so, yeah, I've done both. After doing short term, I think for a year, I said I would never do it again. And it was just so much more of an emotional roller coaster. And as a real estate investor, you just don't want that. And I'm competitive. I want 5-star reviews, right? And so you're going just above and beyond on everything. And the very level I would have some short-term tenants who were fantastic, wonderful, left the place in great condition. And then I had other ones where
you only need one, just one a month to just wreck it.
Totally. And it's different because if it's a long term and the tenants are kind of sloppy, you only deal with it once. And also all their furniture is out, everything else, it's easier to clean. When you're talking about stains everywhere, all over things, broken glasses, it makes it so much more difficult.
Yeah. The other thing I want to acknowledge, because again, I'm not anti Airbnb. I'm not anti short-term rentals. I think it is a wonderful business when done right. I have a wonderful guest every Wednesday, Anna Kelly, who does beachfront, oceanfront properties in resort towns, right? So they're kind of built for that model. Awesome. I have saw too many of these folks that were calling me old and out of touch buying no-name house on a no-name street near no-name attractions. And while that works in a pandemic when nobody wants to go to hotels, it's not going to work long-term. You got suckered in. And lastly, I can't tell you how many people told me it was easy. I'm like, you think dealing with the public is easy? Are you freaking kidding me? I have one tenant in one property for a year, and that's not easy. You're going to have 75 tenants in a month? You think that's easy? Are you kidding me? So wrong expectations, wrong product, overpaid. It only ends in disaster for many people who rushed in by fool's gold, in my opinion.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
You know what? We'll do in episode number 2. We'll talk about how to save in Airbnb if you're in one of these situations, because there are a couple of outs. But if you overpaid in the wrong market with the wrong debt, you're going to have some losses. But maybe we can help save some folks. Dana, you put out a lot of great stuff in Hemlane. Where should people go?
Yeah, you can go to www.hemlane.com. Under resources, you can actually look at our rent estimator. So if you are thinking of going from short-term to long-term, you can go ahead and see what your property would rent for.
Yeah, the other thing I would tell Airbnb hosts, if you're doing it and struggling, you probably have all of these apps and services, AirDNA and all this other stuff. Cancel that stuff immediately. Go to Hemlane, check out their 15-day trial or 14-day trial, because it's one platform for one thing in one place. Dana, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.